You know, it is one thing to get views on YouTube, and it's another thing completely to get sales on YouTube. And the real magic happens when you get both views and sales. And this is a framework and a formula that I have been trying to master and using for going on a decade now. A decade. That is a long dang time. But after really mastering it and figuring it out, I get sales like this every single day just from my YouTube content. Now, I do want to add a little tiny disclaimer here, because when I talk about selling with YouTube, when we talk about selling with YouTube videos, you cannot do this in every video, because you also have to kind of please the algorithm. If you actually want to get views that lead to sales, you actually have to get views. And you can't get views if you're ticking off the algorithm, because you're constantly sending people away from the platform. So I want you to do a version of what we're talking about today in about 20 to 25% of your videos. You should actually still follow the same formula, except for the selling piece, in all of the rest of your videos too, but you really want to focus on sending people to watch another video or to comment or something that is like YouTube specific. And when we get to that part, when I talk about selling, we'll talk a little bit more about this. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and take a screenshot of this formula, because this 6-part formula is exactly what we're going to talk about today when we talk about how you should structure your videos to sell your things, to sell your digital products, to sell affiliate links, to sell courses, like whatever kind of digital thing you're selling. This is how we do it. In the very beginning of your video, you really have to show up and hook the person watching. And I know you've heard this 1,000 times before. One, because I've said it 1,000 times before, but two, because you've probably watched other videos that are telling you to hook people when they show up to your video. But when it comes to hooking them, there's actually a strategy here that works better than other strategies to get them to the end of the video, to get them to the point where you're pitching your thing. And that is to have like some kind of belief shift in your hook, or even some kind of like emotional plea in your hook. So it's not enough to be like, today we're going to take a look at my YouTube formula, or look at this YouTube formula. Like, we really want to play into the emotion of the person watching so that they feel like they need to watch the rest of the video. So this is what I did in this one. You know, it is one thing to get views on YouTube, and it's another thing completely to get sales on YouTube. And the real magic happens when you get both views and sales. I challenged the belief that you can either get views or sales, but not both, because you totally can get both. So it was a belief challenging or belief shifting hook. The whole point of the hook, regardless of what you say, regardless of what it is, regardless of what emotion you try and play on, is to get them to watch the rest of the video, or at least to get them to watch more of the video. And so many people start their videos in like such a cookie cutter way, like, hey, welcome, today we're gonna talk about blah, blah, blah. It doesn't cause people to stay. You have to get people to stay. If you get people to stay, your watch time goes up. If you get people to stay, your retention goes up. If you get people to stay, the algorithm is like, ooh, this is a good video, let's show it to more people. If you get people to stay, the more people who are there during the point where you mention your product or you pitch your thing, whatever the scenario is. Now, the second part of this is that you need to provide proof. Within the first few seconds of this video, I did this. I get sales like this every single day just from my YouTube content. I gave you proof that this actually works, that the thing I'm about to teach you, the thing I'm about to show you, the thing that I'm getting excited about and I want you to get excited about actually freaking works. When you can provide proof, it automatically accelerates your authority. So people are like, oh, she's actually done this. She's actually done this thing. She knows what she's talking about. Check, check, and check. The third thing that you want to do is provide a no fluff, quick win. So for me, at the beginning of this video, what I did was I said, take a screenshot of this formula, because this is the formula we're going to talk about. So that is a quick win. If they wanted to dip out of this video after that point, they can, and then they could follow those things. But also I intentionally make it to where they don't want to, right? Like, they don't want to just dip out then. They actually want to stick around and see what's going on. The fourth thing that you need to do to actually make sales from your YouTube video is to sell. Shocker. Mind-blowing, I know, but so many people forget to freaking do this. The selling part of your video needs to come in this order. It needs to come kind of after the intro, after the hook, after all of that, but before the parts where you're actually going to give them the information they came from, so that you know that they're staying for the sale. Now, there's 3 different ways that you can actually make this sale, okay? So the first way is a very natural integration. Maybe you're talking about something and you want to naturally integrate it in here. So if I say something like, inside my Evergreen Sales Accelerator, I teach these strategies and more, right? Like I teach how to actually use YouTube to sell. I also teach you how to create the digital products or the courses. I teach you how to integrate all of this together, how to make the funnels, all of those things. And I say that as a way to like, just tell you I've got this thing without like a hard sale. That's a really natural sale. And I think on most videos where you're selling, that should be the go-to because it's really natural. You're not feeling pushy, etc. Now, there are going to be videos in your video funnel, in your process where you're gonna hard sell. You're gonna be like, you wanna know more? Go buy my thing. You wanna do this? Go buy my thing. Sure, but that natural sale is natural, and it's really going to get the people who are just there and they're watching, but then you catch their attention with like, I can learn more, and I really like the way that she's teaching or he's teaching or whatever. Let me go find out what they have more for me, right? So that's kind of the first way that you sell. Second way that you can sell in this section is with the hard sale. So this is where you just like flat out talk about your offer. Now, when you watch YouTube videos and people talk about their sponsor, like the sponsor of this video is Squarespace or like whatever, and they like go on a big tangent about Squarespace, but it's kind of in the middle of their content, you can do that for your offers too. I think it's really interesting that people don't think about that. They don't think like, oh, I can just like hard sell my offer. And you can even treat your offer like the sponsor of the video. You could literally make it like a sponsored section. This video is sponsored by X and sell that way. Now, the third way to sell here in this section is to not sell at all. And I know that sounds bananas cuckoo pants, but if you have all of the things in place that you need in place, this could be a really strategic way to sell without selling. And remember, I mentioned that we should only be like selling in about 20 to 25% of our videos. So this is a great way to sell in the other 80% without actually selling. And that is to promote a freebie or to even point to other videos where you do sell. Now, this is a strategy we're going to talk about in the outro section, but having videos on your channel where you are hard selling and then using those to point people to after they need something more from whatever the video is a really big deal. That's basically a video funnel. So let's say I have a video that is literally just hard selling my Evergreen Sales Accelerator, and I am going into all the details and I'm telling you all about it, and I'm telling you about the community, and I'm telling you about like what you'll get inside of it, and I'm telling you how you can learn how to use YouTube to sell your digital product and how to make a digital product, and I'm telling you can learn how to do funnels, and you get it. I'm going into detail, right? And it is a video that is a very good topic for me to be able to point people to pretty much from every video on my channel, because ideally all of our videos fit and work together. So instead of selling here, I could be like, hey, I have this video about X, Y, or Z. I'll make sure to link it below or have it popping across the screen. And it will help you after you watch this one, make sure to go watch that one. Or whatever, right? But that is a good way to sell without actually selling in your videos. And bonus points, you are pleasing the algorithm, which we're going to talk about in the outro section when we really go in depth here. But you're pleasing the algorithm, people are going to keep watching, your videos are going to get shown more, and the whole thing works perfectly. All right, fifth thing in the formula for a YouTube video that actually makes sales, okay? Gets views, makes sales, is to blow their mind for free. If you will give enough away for free, their mind instantly says, oh, well, if she gave me all of that for free, I can't imagine what her paid offer is like, whatever you just promoted. Or wow, I just learned a lot for free. I wonder what I could learn for paid. Their brain is instantly making that connection. So actually have good stuff in your YouTube videos. I think that it's this like common strategy or maybe thought process. I don't know that anybody actually teaches it, but I think it's a thought process where we go into creating YouTube videos and we know that those YouTube videos are going to sell into whatever, right? Whether it's a freebie or a big offer, a small offer, like whatever the scenario is. And we know that, right? Like we know that's the goal of the YouTube video. So we hold back on the YouTube video and don't like tell them all the things. And here's what I have to say to that. There is absolutely no way, no world, no instance where you are going to teach everything in your big course or even a small course in a 20-minute YouTube video. You're just not. So to sit and worry that, oh my gosh, I have to hold back, I have to not tell them everything, I have to kind of keep them guessing is bananas. Blow their mind for free so that they know that the paid stuff is well worth their money. And the sixth thing here, so the last part of this kind of strategy, but I do have some bonus tips and I do have like a full example I want to show you, is to make them want more. In your outro, you should be, of course, sell your thing again if you want to, link them in the description, whatever. But in every single video, selling or not, you should be making them want to watch more videos and telling them which ones to watch. So in an outro, you might say something like, if you really want to know more about X, this is a great video for you to go watch. Or this is your next step in the process. I've already got a video on that. And really use your outro and the ability to have an end screen with a clickable video, which you'll see at the end of this video, as a way to make them want more and make them go and get more. And hopefully, even if you're not selling in the video that you're doing right now, you're selling in that one, and the whole thing works, like I said, amazingly. So let me actually show you how this works in an actual funnel, but then I have 3 bonus tips to make even more sales with every single video, even the 80% ones that you're not supposed to be selling in. Okay, so let's say that I do this video and this video gets views. I've done everything I need to do to get views. It gets views and it leads to a low cost offer. So I have an offer called Digital Product in a Weekend. That is my low cost offer to teach you how to create a digital product and walk you through creating a digital product in a weekend. That low cost offer funnel then sells people into not only like an upsell within the funnel, but also into my bigger program. So from one YouTube video where I'm promoting that low cost offer, I could make $97, I could make $134, and I could also make like $1,700 or $1,800. But in addition to that, even if that funnel only stops at the funnel and they don't go buy my bigger offer, they're now on my email list for launches. So I've done all this work and I've gotten people through my low cost offer funnel, and I know that those people are like 5-star leads, okay? Because they've already spent money with me. They definitely want to know what we're talking about, etc. And they already know how to make a digital product, which is a lot of what they need to know to actually build out the funnels and use YouTube and all of the things, right? And then let's say I do a launch in 3 months and I do a webinar where I'm teaching them how to set up an evergreen sales machine with YouTube, and it's a whole webinar, and in that webinar I sell them an evergreen sales machine and some of them purchase. You see how this one YouTube video maybe made me, let's say it made me 20 sales of $134. 10% of those people upgraded completely to the big package, to Evergreen Sales Accelerator. And then 3 months later, whenever I did the launch, I had even more people really freaking interested and even more people buy. YouTube is a freaking powerful tool, like so powerful. I've been using it, like I say, for like a decade to do this exact thing. And it works every single time with every single person I've ever used it with every single type of niche. It just works. Now there's 3 kind of bonus points that I want to point out here, because why not make the video get more sales and more views, right? That's the goal. On every single video, I want you to go in with a comment after the video, like a comment of your own that links to your offer, your freebie, whatever you're trying to promote, and then pin that comment. That way, anytime someone goes to the comments, whether they comment or they're just reading them, or even whether they see that comment under the video as the first comment or whatever, they are seeing the link to your offer. And you should do this on videos where you're not selling too. Like absolutely. But also as kind of like an add-on to this, make sure that your stuff that people can buy is linked in the description of every single last one of your YouTube videos. Now, bonus tip number 2. I know that I mentioned having like really conversational, really like soft, natural selling in the selling part of your video, but it works even better and it works even like more seamlessly if you can naturally, conversationally pull in the mention of your offer. So in this video, I have in conversation mentioned my digital product in a weekend mini course or small offer, and then my Evergreen Sales Accelerator bigger offer. But I've done that like super casually and super conversationally because they were actually examples I was using or things I was using in the video. If you can find a way to do that, oh my gosh, you will quite literally never have a day without sales. And last bonus tip, which really focuses on views, because again, I think that people think that they either get views or they get sales, but we can get both. And that is to actually learn the platform. So with YouTube, there's some YouTube teachers out there who are just like, throw your videos up there and sell, and run ads to them or whatever. And that is garbage because you're always gonna have to be running ads to them. You're always gonna have to be doing the same shit all the time. And it doesn't actually work to build an audience and to build people who actually care about what you have to say, because the next person who swoops in and says it better, they're gonna go and run and like follow them. So what you wanna do is actually learn the algorithm. Actually focus on your titles and your thumbnails and understanding keywords and understanding the algorithm and understanding how YouTube works as a whole, so that you do get more views, so that when those views land on a video where it's structured like this, you get more sales. Bada bing, bada boom. Now I teach all of this, like I teach the whole kit and caboodle in my Evergreen Sales Accelerator program, because it is basically all of my programs all together with a roadmap to lead you through. And it's also like a Netflix library where you can like pick what you need and then not watch the rest. Like that's totally fine. But essentially I teach how to actually create the digital product, how to build funnels to the digital product, how to use low-cost offers to build your list instead of like freebies or whatever, but also I do teach freebies in there. Then we teach how to use YouTube to actually grow and make sales. We expand on this, and how to build email funnels and launch and all the things so that you have a complete system. That's why it's called Evergreen Sales Accelerator. You have a complete system to make evergreen sales every single day by selling a digital product of some sort, a course, a digital product, something digital, and pairing that with YouTube to make this all happen. So if you want to check that out, I will leave the link to Evergreen Sales Accelerator below. And if you want to take this a step further, I have my exact system for selling digital products in a funnel and creating funnels and ways to purchase my digital products outside of just like, here is this thing, in this video. So you go watch this video, you'll learn how to funnel your digital product, combine that with what you learned today, and you'll be unstoppable and be making lots of money.